welcome to the Restore and Recover series. This is day 5 in the series if y'all have been following along. If not, no worries at all, welcome. Today's focus is going to be on our neck area. Of course, it will cover a little bit of our shoulders and a deep release in the front line and the back line of the neck. Again, just a short disclaimer is that I am not a medical professional, so this might not be super intense for some people, and it might be intense for some people. So again, I try to do a more generalized stretch routine. So please, again, if you do have any kind of pain, a bad pain, we don't want to go there. So please be careful. And again, our neck is so sensitive and pain can be so personal. So please take your time and breathing through any areas of tension that you might feel if you do decide to go through this series and stretches. So again, just want to throw a short disclaimer to just be gentle with your body and do not pull on your neck because it's quite sensitive. With that being said, we are going to be using a pillow or bolster. It is optional, but I'm going to have it right by my side today. But we're going to go ahead and start in a seated position today. So we're going to go ahead and come into a seat, and either in a crisscross position, you can be kneeling as well, but we're going to start right here. Again, you can feel free to keep the eyes closed as we go through, or just simply having a soft gaze in the eyes today. So we're going to start with our left palm on our floor here. If it doesn't reach quite low to the ground, again, you can just place it on the opposite side that we're going to stretch the knee. So my left hand is going to be on my left knee here, and with the right hand, we're going to go ahead and gently pull on the head and the neck to the side. So all we're doing is just guiding that head and the neck to that one side, again, opposite to the hand that we have down by our sides. Now, for my friends who are reaching to the floor here, you can take this up a notch by deepening the stretch. And by deepening, we're gonna go ahead and take that arm off of the floor, and we're gonna go ahead and bring the fingertips down towards the floor here. And at the same time, you're gonna gently pull a little bit deeper here, and you're gonna bring that arm a little bit further back towards behind you. And this is gonna deepen that stretch a little bit more. And what we're doing here is furthering that tension down through the side of the neck from the top of the ear, down through that shoulder and through the fingertips and the arms here. So you are getting a little bit of a wrist and forearm stretch here as well if you are taking this version and deepening it. And for my friends who don't feel it as much and want to take it further, y'all can also kind of see where your neck tension lies today. Perhaps you want to bring your chin and your eyes a little bit more towards that right knee. Or for my friends who don't feel it at the bottom position here, towards the back of the head and the neck, where the upper back meets the neck, you might find that your head and the neck tension might be a little bit more forward, and it might be away from the back line. So you can kind of see which position feels the right position for you today, especially with the neck. And again, if you do start to feel any kind of tension in that top arm, or the pressure of the arm, gentle pressure of the arm becomes too much, you can just simply rest that right hand back to the floor. But again, finding a good position for your neck today, and we'll go ahead and hold a little bit longer here. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep exhalation out through the mouth here. Again, trying to soften the facial features today as well. A lot of the times when we do more intense stretches for our shoulders and our neck, we want to kind of do this number where we're really trying to bring your face into play, bringing tension, especially if it's sore or tender. You might want to do this. So really relaxing the facial features and really opening the mouth just a little bit so you can gently relax that jaw. Imagine someone is just gently massaging your face and you're really just trying to relax all the tension line, especially in our forehead and the jawlines, just gently releasing some tension there. And as we deepen the stretch with time, really feeling that whole neck, that side, all the way down to our fingertips. You might even, if you have some sore muscles in this area for the forearms, you might really feel a good enhanced stretch in that forearm and the wrist as well. And really breathing through it. We'll stay here for a couple more moments before we switch. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep exhalation out through the mouth here. And on your next exhalation, slowly bringing your head back into neutral, bringing that left palm back onto your knee if it wasn't already, and we're gonna gently switch to the other side. Now we're gonna go ahead and start again now with the right hand, and you can either place it all the way to the floor here as we gently bring that neck to now the left side. Again, option to bring that gentle pressure of that palm to gently lie onto our head here, to gently pull on this other side gently. Again, do not force anything. And again, if you want to change it up and deepen the stretch, using the arm here to further deepen that stretch rather than putting pressure onto that top. Again, we want to really avoid pushing or pulling intensely because our neck is quite sensitive. And again, the arm can go a little bit further back, kind of playing around with the arm. You can play around with either being in the center line or the back here. And again, the eye gaze can either be in that neutral position, just facing towards me today, or you can again find a good stretch looking up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, or again, looking gently down towards the opposite knee to really release tension through the back line. And again, if anytime you'd like to relax that arm down to the left knee or the side on the floor, feel free to take it. And again, the sides might be a little bit different, so really listening to the body. And if you feel like one side you can go a little bit deeper, and then the other side just feels a little sticky, it's not the best. Again, do not force anything into the stretch. Just taking a moment until you feel what's right for that side. So no need to compare the two sides, and just release whatever feels comfortable. Our bodies sometimes are not symmetrical, so sometimes we hold more tension on the right or the left, and that's okay. Again, just listening to your body here, breathing through it. And if any time you need to take a moment of rest, feel free to take a pause in this video, taking a quick water break if needed, and then coming back to it. And we'll stay here for a couple more moments. Last opportunity to get a little bit deeper onto this side here. Next exhalation, slowly returning the head and the neck into neutral, and that right hand back onto the right knee. And taking a moment here, you can even keep the eyes closed to reset the spine, the head and the neck. Our head is quite heavy, so really restoring back into neutral alignment, and really feeling now the blood flow coming back into our areas that we stretched. You should really feel both sides now of the line of the neck on the lateral side. And if you were stretching more front or back, you should really start to feel that as well, but mainly through that side, the shoulder on the outside, and then the wrist and the forearm here. It should feel so nice. If you do find any tension in the wrist today, you can even bring both back of the wrist and the palm here together, and you can even hold it here. You might feel a gentle stretch in the shoulders as well, or perhaps if you'd like to rotate those wrists and feel a nice release through that wrist and the shoulders today, you can. Make sure you hit both sides and just restoring back into our neutral alignment and bringing blood flow into the areas that we deeply released in this first position. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, and whenever you feel ready, we'll come back onto the floor next, where we're gonna go ahead and target deeply into now our back side of the neck. And we're gonna go ahead and come all the way down onto the floor here. And again, for my friends who'd like to use the bolster today, you can. It is quite intense with the bolster, so if you do decide to use it, it'll look exactly the same. We'll place your forearms onto the bolster today. You can even keep your hands in kind of like when we do a Sphinx pose, where just gently neutral to the sides here, shoulder distance apart, or you can gently bring those hands onto your elbows and create a nice little pillow for yourself. And we're just gonna press the bolster away from the midline of the body here. So you're automatically going to feel a gentle and deep release into our back of the shoulders and the back of the spine and the neck here. So this is all right here in the deep spine. And again, if you don't feel it here, and again, if you're not using the bolster, looking exactly the same, if you don't feel anything here, you can kind of play around with the placement of our elbows. So you can bring the elbows a little bit more forward and then pushing away actively through the elbows and away from the floor here. Or you can bring the elbows closer to you and see if you feel any kind of release in the back side. So again, stretching is very personal, so taking what is right for your body and again adjusting accordingly. And again, we are actively pressing the elbow down to the floor and at the same time pushing your upper body away and your tummy is off the floor here. Now, if you feel like the tummy cannot come off the floor, no worries at all. You can gently release, walk your hands a little bit more forward and coming into a traditional Sphinx pose where you're actively pressing those elbows away, but also looking down towards the mat or the floor to really feel that deep neckline releasing. Again, you don't want to be up here, right? We're not doing the front side of the neck right now. You can if you'd like. You can stay here, but mainly here for deep side, really pressing on the elbows here away from the floor. And again, settling into the right position for you today. Once you find a good position, we'll go ahead and hold it here. Really nice deep inhaling through the nose and deep exhalation out through the mouth. With every breath, softening the eye gaze in the mouth and the jaw. And with every exhalation, really finding more heat in the abdomen. And every time we inhale, finding a little bit more space in between our spine, any areas of tension that you might feel into our neck area, letting our head be heavy here, feeling the weight of our head as the gentle pressure to further deepen into our back, neck stretch today. With the longer holds in these stretching positions, really feeling with time, our body gets more and more open and deeply releasing, deeply restoring into the areas that we'd like to focus on today. Nice deep inhales and exhales here. The last few moments in this position today. Exhalation, gently bringing the head back into our neutral position. And if you had your arms binded today, feel free to take it off and gently walking those palms in towards the midline, pressing onto your palms and onto our knees and pushing off the floor. And we're gonna go ahead and shift gears into one of our last poses for today. And there's a couple different variations for this one. So starting with the most simple form, we're gonna do kind of like a variation on a hero pose, but we're gonna go ahead and cradle into the head. So I'm placing both my palms onto my neck and my head. You can interlace those hands behind your head, or you can just gently stack them behind you. Now from here, we're gonna keep those elbows close to your midline here. At the same time, we're gonna look up towards the sky. So we're gently bringing your eye gaze up towards the sky here, and we're gently creating a nice, beautiful bend in the back and a release and opening in that chest and the front line of the shoulder and the triceps here. So again, this is our most fundamental, basic frontline stretch. Again, not forcing anything, but simply just allowing the force of gravity to do its work, not forced by our muscles, but gentle force that should feel so, so nice and open here. And again, no need to go super, super far back, right? Because if you're doing this accurately, you should already start to feel a gentle release in that front of the neck and creating a nice gentle release in the deep neck in addition to that front of the neck. So it's both sides supported to really release that front line here and a little bit of triceps and shoulders. Now for my friends who like to take this up a notch, you can feel free to come again. You can either keep your knees bent or in a crisscross position, and y'all can do this variation with kind of like a variation on a cow face pose, taking the right finger and trying to reach that left finger. Again, if it doesn't reach in the back like so, you can feel free to use something like a yoga strap or even something to have, or you can just hold on to the shoulder and the low back here and gently opening through, again, that front line and just looking up towards the sky. No need to force yourself into a super, super deep stretch here, but just enough so that you really feel nice release into that front line here. It should be like a really nice enhanced front line stretch, although it might not look like we're doing much, right? You should be really starting to feel that opening through the neck, the mouth, the jawline. We hold so much tension on our everyday lives through our jaw, and so this is such a good one to release. And again, you can keep your mouth slightly open to really just soften through this whole line here. Beautiful. Nice work, everyone. And you can keep the eyes closed today here. And you can also feel a beautiful enhancement and stretch into the shoulders if you are taking this variation. And even if you're here, you can already start to feel a good release in both shoulders simultaneously. Beautiful. And for my friends who did have this position with one hand above, one hand below, feel free to switch now. So now we can get a little bit more of that shoulder on the left side and continue to stretch in the neck here. Beautiful. And stay here for a couple more moments. Last opportunity to get deeper and deeper into this stretch. With every breath, feeling more opening and more release and tension, potential areas of tension fading away. And using the breath to really restore and nourish the body, the muscles, so that you may partake in all of our daily activities that you like to go back to and feel nourished and enhanced in those movements, support in those movements. And we'll take one last full cycle of breath here. hands binded behind you. We're gonna go ahead and release it. Palms facing up for this one. And feeling the blood flow again back, going into those areas. Feel free to bring those fingertips more down towards your feet here to get a little bit deeper nourishment through the front line of the forearm, the wrist, and the shoulder. Again, our neck tension can be quite intense and related to wrist tension, shoulder tension. Everything is related, believe it or not. And so if you did feel any kind of tension in the neck, you can even bring your head side to side in a final collective circle on one side and then opening circle on the other side, whatever feels right for you in these last few moments we have together. And actively pressing your palms up so you really feel that deep release through the front line of that shoulder and the forearms and the wrist with the neck. And whenever you feel ready, we'll go ahead and come back into our neutral spine, gently opening those eyes again if you had it closed. And thank you so much for joining this beautiful practice to further deepen into our neck area and our shoulders and our wrists that are deeply related to our neck tension. Thank you so much, and I hope to see y'all in day 6. Have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.